Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we are back with another one here. It is the Authority Project, and I am here with my new good friend here, Mark Kumar, and he says he's going to help us create and run a successful online, not business, but online digital empire is what he's here for. Is that right, Mark?
That is absolutely right. And we are going to be talking about some real stuff. Not just like one of those theory stuff. If you do this, this happens. We're going to give you some actionable steps that you take and you get result. That's what we're going to do.
Okay, well, we shall see.
We shall see, definitely.
On this current episode.
I have not let anybody down, and I'm not going to start today.
All right. We shall see now on this episode of The Authority Project.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, feast your eyes and tune your ears. It's that time again. We are live with another episode of The Authority Project. It's the video podcast streamed on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Periscope, where we talk to digital marketers, business coaches, and creators of all kinds on how they've built authority in their field and how you can mimic their success. Developing authority, building your audience, and attracting better clients to your own business. Now, without further ado, let's bring to the virtual stage your host, Brian S. Arnold.
And we are back, folks. It's the Authority Project. And you are the project. And you want to slap authority to your name so you can sell more of what you're great at. And I am here with Mark Kumar, who has hit the digital virtual stage, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, we're doing some big things here, helping you build not just a regular online business, but an empire. I'm going to stress that. This is what he's saying to us. This is what he's saying to us today. How you doing, Mark?
I'm good, man. How are you?
I am great. So let's dive right into it, Let's before we dive in, please tell the people who you are personally in the profession.
Sure, absolutely. My name is Mark Kumar. Those of you who may not know me, I am a lifestyle entrepreneur. And those of you who may be listening to this particular term first time, and you're thinking, what in the world is a lifestyle entrepreneur? And it is basically, just to give you a short version of it, you have a skill or you have something that you're passionate about. You create a business out of that. Everyone does that, right? They do it just one single time. However, let's say January 1st come and you have this passion for fitness and you're like, hey, I want to become, fitness. I got a result and so on and so forth. I want to teach somebody else to do that. Great. And then most people stick with that. However, lifestyle entrepreneurs don't just stop there. They continue on. So if they've got passion for something else, they go and create a business out of that. So they continue on and on and on. So whatever they're passionate about throughout their whole life, they create a business out of that. As a result, you build yourself an empire. And most importantly, you have a multiple stream of income. So if one business goes down, you have 10 more to go. Awesome. And the beautiful thing about it is when you're working in your business, this lifestyle entrepreneur business, you will never feel like you worked a day in your life. Awesome. And you will always get out with a smile on your face.
Right. Now tell us who Mark Kumar is personally. Outside of being a Yankees fan that we talked about earlier.
Absolutely, man. A diehard Yankee fan. And Mark Kumar is a very stubborn person who does not like to say no. But more importantly, he doesn't like to give up on the things that he starts.
I love it. Great stuff, man. Okay.
Yeah.
So are you working on a current project at the moment?
Yes, I am. And it is the thing that we are doing right now on the back end side, which is called the Simple Podcast Cloud, which is this podcast hosting company. So if you have a podcast, you're looking for a hosting company that you want to, hey, I want this one hosting company. And, I just want to have that. And then if I create a podcast, let's just say for fitness today, and then 2 months later down the road, I want to create a podcast for marketing, Facebook, whatever. And then you don't have to worry about opening up another account or paying next level, none of that crap. You just have one account. You can have as many podcasts, as many episodes, as many downloads, as many as bandwidth that you need. So pretty much it's unlimited everything. And you can check us out at simplepodcastcloud.com.
Awesome. Okay. So last question before we dive in.
Sure.
Mark, what is your daily routine?
daily routine. You get up 6 o'clock in the morning, and now that the gym is open, go to the gym, and then come back.
Yeah.
and then come around like 7:30, 8 o'clock, look at emails and start the day from there. And then in the computer world until 5:30, 6, 7 o'clock, and then go out for a good 4, 5, 6 mile walk or run, and then come back to the computer and then look at my emails, and midnight go to sleep and start the whole over again, 7 days a week.
Love it. Love it. Okay. That's all wrapped up. Now, that's Mark Kumar. All right.
Yep.
So let's get into the blueprint now of building a digital empire. Tell us what that means. Go.
So what that means is, let's say a lot of people, especially nowadays, because of this pandemic and everything else, people want to pay their bill, have an income, and then feed their family, and then whatever responsibility they have, they need some kind of financial thing, source of income that they come in. And there's a lot of people out there that I know have lost their job because of the some industry. They just don't have the actual demand for it because people cannot go to that particular location with a physical product and things of that nature. So now you have the most important thing, and that is your skill. And some people I know for a fact that they think they know everything, and then they go turn around trying to tell somebody like, hey, I can help you with X, whatever the X is, right? And when they ask them, the clients ask them like, hey, I need help with this, they're trying to tell them, and they get so frustrated because the clients are asking them X, Y, and Z question. They don't know how to do that, and they don't know how to answer that, and things of that nature. So before you start your own digital empire, do one thing and one thing first, which is the most important thing, and that will help you understand whether you should start the digital empire or not. And that is to take the midnight test. And when you might be wondering, what in the hell is a midnight test?
Yeah, what is that?
What that is, a midnight test is, let's say you think you know one thing, that one skill, whatever that one skill is, and you think you know it so good, right? So let's assume for a second you know it so well. If I come to you and wake you up in the middle of the night and ask you a very, very, very specific question related to the skill, and you're able to answer it within 10 seconds, you have passed the midnight skill test. And now from that point on, we can move forward and start getting your clients. But unless you can pass the midnight test, don't even think about opening your own digital empire.
Okay, so what is that specific question? Can you tell us what that specific question is?
So I'm so glad you asked that. So let's just pick any let's just pick any random industry that you can think of right now, and let's just role play this out.
Okay, how about hold on, let me think here.
Sure.
How about rock climbing? How about that? Rock climbing.
Perfect. Do you know anything about rock climbing?
No.
Do you know anything No. Great. Perfect. So this is a great example, because let's just say you want to go open up your own digital empire with the rock climbing, and you don't know anything about it. And then you come to me and I'm like, hey, if I want to go rock climbing, what gear do I need? And what kind of shoes would I need? And what climate would I go rock climbing? And when I get there, what kind of things that I need? What kind of rope would I need? What kind of rope do I need out of the rope? How long the rope has to be? And what kind of my hand position that I need to be? These are the specific questions that rock climbers would need to know. And if you are trying to open up a rock climbing business and you don't know any of these, this is just basic questions. We're not even getting to the techniques like, hey, where do I put my hands, and how much body strength do I need, and what the weight do I need to be, so on and so forth. Okay. If you can't answer those, then you cannot pass the midnight test.
Awesome. So that's great. So that's a good lesson there, answering those questions, because a lot of people. So here's what I think. A lot of people will take that, but they'll see their audience as being, people who are already advanced, people who already know about the rock climbing. Can you tell them specifically, like, yeah, but there's a lot of people who aren't in that level that you're not going to be teaching. You're not going to teach anybody who already knows that stuff. So go into that level where people can understand, like, yeah, you have these skills that people don't know.
Perfect. So let's start with, can I pick an industry this time, if that's all
Sure.
right with you?
Sure.
All right. So you will flip a role. I'll be the person who wants to teach a course, and you're the person who wants to take that course, for example.
Okay. Okay.
So let's say we'll pick up photography. I know a lot about photography. I used to do a photography as my first business. So let's say I want to teach a photography, and you can ask me any question you want related to photography, and I can pass that midnight test without a problem. So let's play a role play. Let's say you want to matter of fact, ask me any question related to photography that you could think on top of your head. So this will be real life example.
What is the best lens to use for filming? I don't know.
I can. That's a really good question. I can actually put that into perspective right now because a lot of people are home and they want to upgrade their webcam. And nowadays the webcams are pretty good, but some people want to go to digital SLR or a mirrorless camera in which the quality of their picture or the video will be a lot better. Right. So that's a really, really good question. So what kind of camera should I use if I want to, let's just say, take pictures of your portrait photography? Would that be all right?
Yeah.
Okay. So if you want to take a portrait photography or if you want to open up your portrait photography business, the number one thing I will recommend to you would be go get yourself a digital SLR, depending on your budget, depending on what the budget is. So let's just fine tune this. Let's say between $500 to $1,000. Would that work?
Yeah.
Okay,
sure.
So let's say $800, right? So for $800, you can get a Canon M50 if you are in the Canon. I personally like Canon, but if you want to go with Icon, we'll go with the Icon. But right now, for sake of this example, let's just go with Canon. M50, there's a second version out there, which will get you out of $600, a really good average size camera, which will be not too heavy, so you could hold it in your hand and you don't feel like you're lifting a dumbbell or something like that. Because some of them are really heavy after a while if you're holding it for a while. And then you get yourself a Canon lens. Canon lens is like $1,500 to $2,000. You get a company that is a company called Sigma, and you get 24 to 74 zoom lens with f2.0. What that means is that when you are, let's say, this is where your subject is, and you are like 10 feet away, and you want to get a really nice close-up shot of that particular person's headset, their portrait. And then if you have a zoom lens, you could zoom it in, so you'd be 10 feet away, but when you take the picture, you'll be like maybe a feet and a half, 2 feet away from them. So zoom lens is definitely good to go when you want to open up your portrait photography. And as far as the lighting goes, I would recommend not invest any money in the studio light. Instead, learn to see a light in the natural environment, because when you get a studio light, you'll be so bored so quickly because you have the same pose, same lighting condition, and before you know it, you're like looking at your pictures, and let's say you take 10 shots, every 10 shots and 10 different clients. When you put them together in a Photoshop, which the tool that you're going to use to edit your pictures, and you're like, oh my God, they all look the same. It's so boring. I'm boring on my heart. Oh my God. Before you know it, sometimes you might be falling asleep. But as compared to, if you go outside, which is called location photography, which you could also do for portrait as well. So your world of possibilities are going to open up so drastically, and you are going to be so happy because you're going to be able to shoot in every single season, number one. Number two, you will be able to go to your clients' houses, and you will never be bored. And you'll be like, next time you will think about taking a picture, you'll be like, yes, this is so cool. I'm excited. And the only thing I really have is my camera and a lens, and I can pretty much go and shoot anywhere.
Yeah.
And
so let me stop. Let me stop you right there, because that's great. See how great you did that? Now, everybody can't do that, Mark. Everybody can't present. Everybody can't present. Everybody doesn't know how to teach like that. Everybody doesn't know how to just go and do that. They might know the subject. I believe that there are people, that there are things that they can just run off and they can teach. They can do that, but they're not confident in doing that well. But they can do it. But presentation and everything of that sort is key to that as well, right?
And I'm so glad you asked that. And the reason being is because some people, they may know their stuff like really, really good. So which means they passed their midnight test. The next phase of building your digital empire is communication skill. Communication skill in the sense that You know your stuff, whatever that thing is. I don't care whether it's a bakery, car mechanic, photographer, web developer, digital marketer, whatever that thing X is, right?
Yeah.
When you're talking to another human being, you have to communicate in a human language, not in a language that you know so well. So that communication thing, you have to understand. So, for example, let's pick another industry. I'll let you pick this time. Any
Uh,
industry.
speaking,
Speaking,
speaking
great.
track. Yeah.
Awesome. So let's say if I want to become, let's say you want to become a speaker, and I know a lot of things about speaking, all the technicality, and present and suit and everything else. And you're like, hey, I want to become a speaker, right? Or I want to know a little more about speaking. What do I do? If I start talking to you, hey, you need to make sure you watch your tonality, which is the number one thing, and then body language, and then you got to dress the thing, and then that becomes your skill, and then after that you got to master marketing, you got to do blah 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 blah. And at first time when you hear this, you're gonna be like, oh my god, that's a lot of stuff. I don't want to do that, because if you be overwhelmed with so much information, right? As compared to if I tell you, this is like taking the technicality out and putting the human factor. Think about when you're speaking,
Yeah.
your best friend is out in the auditorium and you want to help that person only. That's all you want to do. As compared to giving you this information overload. So, and you're like, okay, which best friend, right? So I'm going to help you filter that more. So your best friend, let's give him a name, I don't know, Frank. And you know your best friend so well. And that's the only person in the auditorium you want to help. And you're like, okay, great, I'll help my friend. Now what? Because when you specify your industry or your person you're trying to help so narrow, then you have a clientele. And when you have a clientele, out of that clientele, you could create people who are willing to pay for you. Because in life, you already know this, right? And people listen to me already know, you cannot please everybody. If you try to please everybody, you're gonna please no one.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have that one friend, I'm willing to bet there are people out there who is just like that friend. There are 10 more people out there. So if you please one person, just one person, there you have pleasing at the same time 10 other people. And I just want to dive this in a little more so you guys understand, listening to it, is that let's say us go on Facebook, right? We love Facebook. It's an amazing thing. It's an amazing tool, right? And then most of us may know a lot about it, and most of us may not know what I say. So when you go on a Facebook and you scroll through your news feed, let's say Monday, and you like something or one of your friends post, whatever. Come Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, you're gonna start seeing more of that particular friend's post as compared to who you did not engage with. So going back to the auditorium person, your friend, you engage with that person. In return, like if you imply that over to Facebook, Facebook is going to build a profile based on what you like. And what you like is what they're going to show more of it. So think about it. Facebook is doing that digitally. It's a living proof that it can work. And it does work.
Awesome. So let's go from here.
Sure.
Say if we have that idea, we have the thing that we have the one thing, right? Where should one start from there? But I got it. I have this thing. What is the easiest place to start from scratch? Where are we going? Are we going to?
Oh yeah.
Go ahead and do it, because it's not like you're ready. Just go ahead and do it. Give it to us.
I am so excited, man, because there's like so many different steps. So number one would be your midnight test, right? Number two will be you're able to communicate. But before you get to communicate, there's another step in between, which will be your test clients. And the test clients, you're like, how the hell do I get test clients? I don't know anybody who's willing to get in front of me, or I don't feel confident. In order for you to tell somebody like, hey, I have this product and services, or more importantly, this digital empire, I want you to go check it out and everything else. You have to be in a position in which you feel like you know what the hell you're talking about, right? So what do is get your test clients, and those test clients could be your 5 best friends or your 5 friends. Or you tell them, is like, hey, I'm thinking about opening this thing. I want you to come meet me at your house or a place in which you can talk about this one specific thing, which is your midnight test. And we can call that particular test. Once you pass it, we'll just say, hey, you found your Mr. X. That's it. You found your Mr. X. And now you know what you need to do, go build a digital empire, right? So you could tell your 5 friends, meet me at location A, and we're going to talk about Mr. X. That is my passion, my skill that I'm trying to think of selling to other people, right? You invite them over, say, then you create yourself, not even a whole presentation, an idea, whatever that skill is. So let's just say photography. And then in your mind, you're thinking, I can teach other people photography, right? That's all you want to do. And then you get yourself a whiteboard. That's all you're doing. Your 5 friends, whiteboard, and a marker, nothing else, maybe a eraser, so you can erase stuff up, right? And then you tell people, your 5 friends, that I am gonna teach you guys photography, and you go to the different things, whatever comes to your mind at that mind. You don't have to plan anything out. Excuse me, let me just drink water. Because
No problem.
Because that's where most people mess up.
Okay.
They plan everything up to the point
Right.
where they wait, and that's where the perfectional syndrome kicks in, what I call, where they were like, hey, I need to get X, I need to get Y, I need to get A, I need to get B, blah, 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 blah. And then by the time they get all those tangible things, it's too late for them to start.
So what do they need at first? What is the minimum viable
That's what I'm going to do. So let's say, go back to the whole photography thing, right? You get this place. So you're teaching these people photography. You have a whiteboard, you have a marker, and you have a eraser. These 3 things. That's all you got. And you have 5 friends.
Yeah.
And then you start going through whatever comes to your head. Let's say, I want to talk about camera. So you write down, let's say 3 different bullet points: camera, lens, and light. That's all you write down. And then you start talking about camera. And then you go turn around to your friends who are there. And when you start talking about the camera, some people are going to be like, what? I don't understand these things, right? Or these particular camera, lenses, settings, blah, blah, blah. You let them ask the question. And the beautiful, beautiful thing that's going to happen is those people, if they're asking a question related to whatever you're trying to teach, those are the same questions your future clients are going to ask too. So you write them down and then you answer them right there. So let's say your 5 friends give you 10 different really, really good questions. You're like, wow, I didn't even think about it. And the blessing and the curse of being an expert is you know too much, which is a good thing. But at the same time, you know too much. You cannot think at the beginner level. So when you're teaching somebody, there are 3 different phases. One is the beginner level, which person doesn't know anything. And then you got the intermediate, and then you got the advanced. And depending on which one you want to teach, even within that, there's a beginner, intermediate, and an advanced. So let's just say these 5 friends don't know anything about photography, and you want to teach them. And promise you, this is going to make sense pretty damn soon. And you'll be like, that aha moment. So you have this, let's say, 30-minute session with those 5 friends. And they love your presentation. And there were some of the questions that you loved, they asked. And at the end of the presentation, make sure you ask your 5 friends one small thing. You take out your cell phone, you point it at them, and you ask them, before you point it at them, can you please give me a testimonial? So that way I can show it to other people. What was your experience being here? So that becomes your workshop. And in your testimonial, you make sure you include this, which is so, so crucial. Number 1, whoever that person is, their name, your name, what were their honest experience was being in there. And number 4, which is the most crucial thing, would they recommend you to anybody else in that testimonial? So you have 5 testimonials. And the beautiful thing about these human beings are If I'm telling you I am great, you're gonna be like, yeah, okay, whatever. But if somebody else or 5 other people telling you I am great, then you're gonna start to believe it. One person's like, okay, maybe there's like a whole community of it saying Mark is great. So right there, it will help you increase your confidence level going from here to here. And then you're gonna be like, yes, now I can do this. And I'm gonna pause for there and let you ask any question you got. Because we're gonna go further.
Okay. So let's dive into it a little bit further, because I know we're rushing for time here right now. So
Sure.
go from there. We have our case studies, I guess, our people who who giving you proof of your idea, proof of what you're teaching. So from there, where do we go from there? It's like, okay, we got a few people here, got a few testimonials. Doesn't mean we have. I mean, that beta group could be something that they paid for, something that might have been free. So you're not really making any money right now. So you're not really have an empire right now. So we need to get that. We need to get into that empire, Mark.
Right.
Give us
Right.
How do we get to that empire?
That's the next step. So right now, we just raise your confidence. Where you're like, in the middle of the crowd, you can say, yes, I know stuff and I feel confident. And these are 5 people who vouch for me. That's all you got right now.
Yeah.
Next phase will be when you're done with them, you can call those 5 people up. Again, your 5 friends, like, hey, do you know anybody who would be interested in hiring me to teach them photography? That's like one-on-one right there. So you don't have to go any further. If they can think of somebody else, and if they had a good time, or if they value what you learned in your 30 minutes first test client class, they're like, yeah, I could think of John, or I could think of Jane, or I could think of somebody else. Right there, you can get 2 or 3 clients. It's possible, right? And that's just one way to do it. You don't have to go anywhere else. And then when you get the call from them, you're like, hey, they are more likely to give you money because you're a friend of a friend who's vouching for you.
Great point.
Right.
Yeah.
That's step number 1. And then step number 2 would be going in the digital world, which you have to do a little more work, which would be like, hey, go back to our favorite friend, which is Facebook. And then you go for joining the Facebook community groups, and then you go put in, let's say, a Facebook group for photography, portrait photography, wedding photography, fashion shoot, lighting, whatever. And then you go and read all those questions. So you have 5 friends who helped you with questions. Then you have, excuse me.
No problem. No problem.
Oh man, glad I had this water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Me too.
And then you have the Facebook community groups who can help you join those groups up. Then you answer those groups, question people who are listening, like, hey, these are the problems that I'm having related to photography. And you go answer them. And then at the end of your each answer, make sure that you say, hey, if you need more information, if you feel like I helped you and you need further detail, message me so I can help you more. So let's say you do 10 posts a day for a week, right? That's 70 posts, 7 days a week. And out of the 70 people, the 70 posts that you actually help other people, meaning genuinely help them. Don't send them any information in terms of links, website link, blah, blah, blah. Because right now you don't have a website. You got nothing, right? And then you have those 70 people. Out of the 70 people, let's just say 25 send you a message saying, hey, thank you so much for answering the question. And I need additional help with X, Y, and Z. And then you ask them for, provide a little more information for that. And then at the end of that, let's say that happened, out of the 25 people, you take 10 minutes out of the day, you help those people out because you are past your midnight touch, you'll be able to answer any question they ask you. And out of 25 people, and let's say 5 of them like, hey, I really like you, and is there any way we can work on one-on-one? If they don't ask you, you ask them. More than likely, they will never ask you because they're like, hey, I want free help. Great. They're never going to ask you, obviously, right? So 25 people, every single one, you provide some information, and then you say, hey, if you need a little more help, I have this one-on-one session, and these are the 5 people. This is where you throw in your video testimonial, and that's where you become from nobody to an expert.
Yeah.
And right now, you have no website, you have no PayPal, you have no Stripe account, you have no way of getting online payment. Right now, you're just talking one on one. And once you figure that out, you hop on over to PayPal, you send them an invoice, like an email, like, hey, this is what it is, that done. And then once you get out of the 25 people, only 5 paying clients, who's not your brother, who's not your cousin, who's not your uncle, sister, brother, any of that. Those are family members, they don't count. These are completely stranger. You have never met them in your life before, but they're telling you, I'm willing to give you money for helping me. Imagine that for 1 second. A month ago, you had an idea. At the beginning of the next month, there are 5 people who's willing to give you, let's just say, I don't know, $100. Imagine the level of confidence, how great you are gonna feel.
Yeah.
Just imagine that for 1 second. So you just have five people, one you helped, and you made $500, and you enjoyed it. You really do anything. It's just giving you advice. And once you have 5 paying clients, then we can move on further, getting your website, setting up your Stripe account, which is the online processing. And then we're going to go further into like creating your own course. So what are you doing up until now? It's like a coaching service business kind of thing. You're actually helping.
Right.
But after you have done, let's say, minimum of 15 people, you help. You have 15 different testimonials, because everyone you help, you ask for video testimonial. And if like, yeah, I'm not really good with video, I'm not, because those people will come up like, I'm not like being in front of the camera, and I don't like blah, 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 blah. And those people, you literally say that to them. I completely understand. You don't like being in front of one camera. But let me ask you this silly question. What happens when you leave your house, go outside in the real world? Is it possible there are tens of thousands of people, or at least 20, 30 people look at you every single day? What about those cameras? Switch instantly. Do you FaceTime with your family? Instantly change.
Yeah.
And then all you gotta do is, and then you guide them through with 4-step process and testimonial I just mentioned, and that's all. And then once you guide them through the 4-step process, I promise you, no one will ever say no, ever.
So let's summarize all of this, because you gave us so much right now. Before we wrap up here, give us go from start to finish, so we can really get that in our minds and believe well, we can do this digital empire step by step.
Step by step. Step number 1 will be pass the midnight test. And if you're like, I don't know, rewatch this thing, you will understand what that is. Exactly. Step number two will be get your first 5 test clients. Step number 3, get your first 5 paying clients, either through your friends or through going to Facebook. So that's number 3. And step number 4 will be, after you get your first 5 paying clients, get your website. So that way you can direct them. So you don't have to message them, so on and so forth. So now we are automating the process. So you have your website, and then post your testimonials in there. So you got the first 5 testimonials from your test clients, another 5 testimonials from your paying clients. So now you have enough money to invest into your website. So let's just do $100, something like that, right? For the whole year. And then you still have $400 left to go. So you take those $400 and you put it in your bank account, or you repeat the cycle, going back to the Facebook group. And the people who you helped, you ask them for referral again, until you get yourself a 15 paying clients. You keep on repeating the cycle again and again and again, that 4-step process. And then once you get your 15 client, you go into the 5-step, which is create yourself an online course. And if you need any help, you can contact me. But that will be the last step for you. And that is where you are going to start to create your digital empire. Once you have your course, and then all you got to do is, rather than going to people, you direct all your people to that website, which has a link to your digital course, which they can take at the comfort of their home. And you will be having a passive income or whatever you call it, free ATM on demand, whatever you want to call it. People go look at your course. They go sign up for it. They pay you for it. You help them, which is the most crucial thing. You helping another individual achieve a result. Imagine this for 1 second. I really want to drive this home. So let's say you're looking for this X for days, weeks, and you cannot figure out. And you finally have this another human being come into your circle, showed you the way. You spent the whole month trying to figure this crap out, but you couldn't. Let me ask you this question. How thankful you will be when this another human being taught you how to do X. I'm willing to bet you're going to be so thankful and you're going to tell everybody else about this individual. So let that be you. I'll wrap it up there.
Awesome. Great stuff, man. I got one last question for you so we can wrap this up. And maybe you already wrapped it already, but I'm going to say it anyway. So there are people out there who have similar interests, similar goals as you, maybe similar paths as you. They want to make an impact and help other people build their online digital empire as well. Can you show them, and I'll put you front and center in your own words, Mark, how they can become an authority in this space?
Becoming an authority in this space is very, very simple. It's extremely simple than you actually think. And that is the thing that I call is building a mega credibility. And the simplest, the fastest, and the easiest way to build a mega credibility is just do one thing and one thing only. Do the thing you said you were going to do. Let me repeat that. Do the thing you said you were going to do. That's it. And put things in perspective for you. Let's say you said to your friend, I'm going to meet you 5 o'clock Friday night at X restaurant. And 5:45 comes and you call your friend up, hey, I'm not going to be able to make up. Or worse yet, you didn't call your friend up. Come 5:15, you didn't show up and your friends are wondering like, what happened? Let's say that happened one time. Your friend may forgive you for a second. Well, no, because your friend is going to forgive you. But if it happens once, twice, and third time, your friend is going to have an opinion of you like you are not reliable. You are not trustworthy. As compared to another example, if you said you're going to meet him at 5 o'clock and you get there at 4:58 p.m., and he shows up at 5 o'clock, he sees you, you are there. Next time around, you show up again. Remember, you're not doing anything. If you said you're going to do it, make sure you do it. And then third time, your friend, no doubt in his mind, he's going to think you are a credible person. I can trust you. You are a man of his word. Man who stands by his word and woman who stands by his word. And he's going to tell everybody else. Now imagine that. If you can transfer the same mindset in a business, if you tell your clients, I'm going to deliver X, Y, and Z by Friday, make sure you do everything humanly possible to deliver it. But if you cannot, make sure you tell them you cannot. Don't make an excuse not to tell them. That's where the line of communication is. If you cannot, you tell them I cannot, because that will also, the negative thing will also build mega credibility for you. And once you have this mega credibility so good and everybody knows about it, trust me, you are going to be the person that everybody is going to refer to. So be the person you want to be. That's all I got to say.
It's perfect, man. I love that. I don't think anybody's expressed it that clearly and profoundly. So awesome stuff, man. Awesome. Can you please tell them where they can find you after the show?
Sure, absolutely. You can go to my website, which is markkumar.com. That's MarkKumar.com. KUMAR.com. And then I forgot my own last name. And if you click on contact, there's actually if you click on the contact button right there and you mention you heard me on this show, I am going to give you this complimentary 30-minute one-on-one session with me in which you can ask me any question you got. If you have an idea and you want to come running into a digital empire, you ask me and I will be more than happy to help you out. And also there's a special gift that I have for you, which you can get at markkumar.com/gift.
Great stuff. People, he had a lot to give and he gave it. Isn't that right? So I think this blueprint that you got right here is really it. I gotta be honest. That's the way to go about it. And there's no shortcuts. Just follow the instructions. You know, I'm going to put that in a post pretty soon. Just follow the instructions. A lot of people think, you know, I can do this, and that, but not that. No, just follow the instructions. Just do it.
Yeah, just like Nike. Just do it.
Yeah. Just do it and see where it takes you before you say you can't, or before you say it doesn't work. This is not going to work. Just do it first, and then say if it doesn't work, then fine, whatever. But you know, don't not do it and make an assumption that it's not going to work for you. All right.
Right.
So listen to Mark. That 4-step process is it. Okay. So I'm done with that. I'm gonna let you go with that. Again, like I said, follow the authorityletter.com. This is my little spiel. Join that list. Build your authority platform. Get the 3-part video series in real Saturday night. Real talk letters Saturday night. I don't think anybody does that, but that's what I do, and it's something to get you through the end of the week. So it's chill and that kind of thing. And also, I'm still here to help my friend in her GoFundMe page. Who again, help Meg. Go to helpmeg.com. She is a fellow creator, business owner, videographer, and she had an incredible a coffee roaster. And she had a fateful mountain bike accident, which almost left her paralyzed. So I'm trying to help her get herself back on the mend with the hospital bills coming through and still trying to keep her business afloat. So people, if you have anything to give, I don't care if it's 10s, 20s, whatever, even anything will help. Any amount is welcome. So please, I want to help her finish up her GoFundMe page and get her goal of getting that together, because I'm not sure if people have seen hospital bills before coming through, but they can be quite frightening, especially in her state of trying to get recovered. So that's me for now. And as I always say, people, build it, share it, and they will come. We'll see you next time. We're out.
And that's a wrap for this episode of The Authority Project. Thanks so much for tuning in. And if you like what you heard, we want to hear from you. Subscribe, rate, and give an honest review. Share and tell your friends so they can hear too. And for even more authority building tactics, be sure to sign up at theauthorityletter.com. Get free weekly content and ongoing digital product giveaways to help you on your entrepreneurial journey. We certainly hope you got a key takeaway, or maybe an aha moment from today's broadcast. Just remember, it's your authority. Build it, share it, and they will come. Until next time.